Well, greetings for color fans, and welcome to this rather impromptu video. So, yesterday, my buddy Namman, a comic bookworm, did a video, a sort of tag video. Well, not sort of, it was a tag video, in which he's starting a tag called the CBC Noob. And essentially, it's a way for us to introduce ourselves into whichever community that we're going to make videos about. I believe he spoke about the book community and the album community and how he's used some of the videos that he's seen in there, specifically from Sleepy Reader 666, to have this type of tag, which is answering 10 questions, and in that way, knowing a little bit about the channel. And which I think is a fabulous idea, because sometimes channels start out and you're not really sure if it's a subject matter, which is something that you'd be wanting to watch on a regular basis, or if you just makes it just a little bit, closes up the community a little bit. So I figured, yeah, I was tagged by him, so I'm gonna make this video. I'm gonna make it kind of quick. I'm going, the Metacave is already buttoned down pretty much, so I'm not going to show a whole lot of comics here, because I'm a few days from leaving, and next week I'll be up in Jersey City. So I'll try to make a quick video there, but otherwise I probably won't be on YouTube for at least a week and a half or so. But I'll try to make a short when I get there, just to let everybody know that I'm there. All right, so what are the questions? Okay, I'm going to put his video down below and the hashtag CBC Noob. And if you're seeing this video and you're a subscriber of mine, or a watcher or a supporter, consider yourself tagged and go ahead and make this video easy content. And it's a way for you to introduce yourselves to the community. And if you perhaps have done this in the past, sometimes, it's good to refresh those types of intros anyway. I've been doing this for over 6 years. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. So the first question is, and I'll be leaning over here because again, everything has been different here in the Metacave. I don't have my stands and everything. First question is, why did you start a comic book channel? Okay, great question. For me, it was because I had been watching YouTube for a while, and there was a gentleman who collected 30-cent variants. I believe his name was Comic Quarter 410. I don't think he does videos anymore, but I commented on his when he picked up some 30-cent variants, which are those, just for a quick recap, in 1976, Marvel for 5 months tested the market, did test variants to see if the 25-cent comics could be bumped up to 30 cents and not have a drop off in sales, etc. And so they only did it, I believe, in 5 or 6 markets. And so they're, much rarer than the regular editions. So anyway, I let him know in one of his videos that I have a complete set of those 30-cent variants, which I completed. Oh, it's been almost 20 years now, I would say, some close to it at least. For sure over 16 or 17. And then he said, oh, he wanted to see what the complete set entailed. So I did a video, which was my very first video over 6 years ago. Horrible video, by the way. Just terrible lighting and camera work and me stuttering constantly. So, and of course it was no faces back then. If you really want to, if you're really bored, or if you really want to get to sleep, watch that first video of mine on the 30-cent variants. Here is one of them, right that here. I hope this video is not backwards, but or inverted, I should say, mirrored, whatever, but I think it is. So sorry about that. And I still do have the complete set, and I've enhanced it with some other variants, color variants, things like that. All right, we're already too long in here. Let's get to number 2. What are some fun and unique things that you can bring to the comic book community? Well, I guess this is, opinions differ, I suppose, right? I mean, comics to me are fun. That they're supposed to be fun. That's part of the reason why we're here, right? Is because they're fun, because they're interesting, because we have some kind of connection to them. Whether you collect modern comics and you like the stories and the covers and the variant chases or whatever it is, whether you're a golden age collector and you like the historical beginnings of comic books, they're just fun. And I try to make things with a lot of levity. I don't take myself seriously. I don't do this for investing, and get mad if a character or a comic loses value, things like that. That's inconsequential to the way I look at comics, right? Unique, I don't know. I mean, that's I don't want to assume that I'm unique in any substantial way, but I think that I try to bring perhaps a little different bend to things. I like to talk about the marketing and the distribution of comics, and such quirks as inserts and errors and things like that. I also like a lot of the lesser characters in public publications, publishers, Charlton, Atlas Seaboard, Tower, etc. So I suppose in that vein, I guess you could say that I'm somewhat unique, but I mean, there are other channels that explore those characters as well, and those publishers. But I also like the giveaways and or sendaways, or essentially the free comics that from previous to Free Comic Book Day, things like that. That again, those were comics that were used to promote something, whether it be a business or some kind of event or some kind of like drug awareness, something that at the time was a topic of sorts. All right, so let's get to the next one. What are you most excited about the new channel? Yeah, my new channel from such plus years ago. Well, I didn't really have an expectation, because I didn't really think that I would have a channel per se. I just thought I would do that one video, and that would be it, and I'd go along my solitary collecting ways. But there were so many people that were so encouraging, and the comments, etc., and they asked for more information and more videos from me. And again, I just started riding the roller coaster here of the comic book community. And before I knew it, I was doing shows, live shows like the No Faces chat. I was doing some really deep dives into comics like Grader's Notes. And I was doing, a lot of fun interaction shows like Cover Slingers. So again, I was just sort of immersed myself in the community, and I've gotten so much more out of it than I ever thought could be possible. I've made such incredible friendships here, and bonds that will last probably until I'm no longer above ground here, and I'm in glory, hopefully. So hopefully that answers that question there. When is the first ever comic book you purchased or read? Well, the first one I read, I think I've stated this before, I believe was a Metal Men 22 or 24. I don't remember now. Again, I have every button down, so I apologize for not showing it. I do have the first appearance of Metal Men up here, showcase right there. My brother was a collector, and he had comics lying around, and I remember seeing that cover and just being gravitated towards it because it was just so dynamic and so colorful. So that was probably the first one that I read. Now, I was not I was probably 4 or 5 years old, so my first language was Spanish at the time, since I'm the son of Cuban immigrants, so I probably didn't quite understand the story per se, but I think I made out okay with the pictures and the limited English that I had. Of course, my brother did go to school, and so I did have some idea of, and plus Sesame Street and Electric Company. The first one that I remember purchasing was when my brother took me to a 7-Eleven in 1973, and I bought several comics, including, I think I can dig one out for you, including a Captain Marvel 29, and that is the one that I sort of show as my first there were others in that batch, right? But you know, when you saw that on the 7-Eleven rack, I mean, for sure you're gonna buy that. What a fabulous Starling cover there. So those were the, you know, I'll stop there because I, you know, go on forever and you don't want to hear me forever. What kind of comic books do you like to collect or read? Pretty much everything, as long as they have interesting themes or characters to me. Not crazy about 21st century comics. They're just not made for me. I don't begrudge anyone who does collect and read them. I mean, I'm different strokes for different folks, but to me, they're just not my cup of tea. I do like the sci-fi and of course the superhero genre to a certain degree. I'm also really getting into the mystery and horror. Each genre just has just something that I like in it, right? You know, I've really been enjoying the Charltons, those anthologies. So I could, again, you know, I'm sorry, it's kind of a rambling answer. I don't have a specific type of comic or genre that I enjoy to read, but I enjoy almost all of them, honestly. All right, hopefully that answers that to some degree. Have you ever speculated in a comic book? If not, why not? Well, the short answer is no. I do not speculate because I don't look at comics as investments per se. They mean much more to me than that. You know, just I don't mean to degrade those who do speculate or collect for value or whatever, but you know, to me they were important in my upbringing. They really did help me with my you know, learning English and my ability to, you know, obviously educate myself later on. I was, you know, I was ahead of the game because I was reading so much as a very young lad. So I attribute a lot of my personal success to my love of comic books. But okay, that's not answering the question. I did do a kind of a dare back in 1990, I do believe, and I did a video of it called Metarog the Speculator, believe it or not. It was one of my Metarog chronicles. I'll try to leave a link below if you want to get a good laugh. And it was a letter that I did it based on a dare of another comic book collector at the time, and I sent a letter into Comic Book Marketplace, and they published it in one of their magazines. And the challenge was to pick 10 comics that were $5 and below and were, you know, good speculating, you know, good spec books, shall we say, for nowadays. And amongst those were, I believe, Savage She-Hulk #1, Marvel Spotlight 12. What else was in there? Oh, Thor 225. Some were great hits. Hulk 141. All these were less than $5 back in 1990 in near mint condition. A couple of them are probably duds as well. I'll try to link that video below again, just so you get a laugh at it. So that's the only really time that I've ever speculated. Right? And again, it was on a dare. Do you collect slab, raw, or both? Yeah, I'm not a slabber at all. I just really don't get that. Again, I don't collect for value or speculation or to resell. So again, I don't begrudge those that do. I mean, there's many ways to collect, and I'm not one to judge on how it is that you want to. But to me, I need to feel it. I need to smell it. I need to hold them. Otherwise, it's not really a comic book to me. It's something that's behind glass that I can't access. I do have some because the friends have sent them to me for AOKs, things like that, and there are some exceptions to that rule. Because the cover art is just more like a print and so forth. So I get that part, but no, just raw for me, please. 100%. Have you ever traded comic books? If not, why not? Yes, I have many times. I think that's a great way of acquiring comic books. Here in the comic community, I've traded with many community members, with Shannon, with Night Tiger, Mike, with Ray, many others. So again, yes, and I wholeheartedly want to inspire you that if you have, not tried to do trade with somebody, if somebody has something that you really want and you think that you have something that they might want, reach out to them. I think Cheap Comic Collector has a huge list of comics for trade, and Scott, a Classic Comic Collector, does a trade list as well, not very frequently. So again, there's opportunities out there, and I suggest you take those, because trading is a way to help others with their collection, help yourself, a win-win, and there's not a lot of money being laid out. I also did a trade with Silver Knight Kyle, sorry. Sorry, I didn't want to make you Silver Age there, Kyle. Do you collect gold and silver, bronze, modern, all, or combo? Okay. Of course, when I was growing up and the buying comics off the rack, it was the Bronze Age through the Copper Age. I think I ended right at the end of the 1990s. Again, no 21st century stuff, with some exceptions, right? So no, I do not collect moderns. Again, they're just not made for me. But I have discovered Silver Age and Golden Age here and there. I dabble in Golden Age. I'm not, I don't like seek them out too much. There are some exceptions to that, which I do seek out, especially the giveaways, right? And Silver Age, I've noticed lately that some of the Bronze Age comics keep referring to these things in Silver Age comics, so I've moved my collecting back into the Silver Age, but again, only find them when they're cheap. Okay, hopefully that answers that question. And tell us about your first comic book with your first personal story tied to it. Wow. I mean, I already talked about the Metal Men, which I had with my brother had, but I've already told this story. But amongst the first comics, that the Captain Marvel 29, my brother took me to 7-Eleven after he started driving, and he bought those for me. But the first comics that I bought with my own money, amongst those, Doctor Strange 5, I think Astonishing Tales 26, was a Hulk 180, because it had the Wendigo on there. But at the time, I was thinking, oh, it's a Yeti, So, because I had seen a special on the Yeti, I wanted that comic book. And I was actually flying from Miami to California to LA for vacation. And I'm not sure if it was in the Miami side or on the LA side that I got Hulk 181, because I wanted to finish the story. So I did buy Hulk 180 and 181 off the rack because of that special I saw probably a week or so before a vacation. So thanks to the Yeti, I now have a Hulk 180 and 181. All right, so I think that's it. This went a lot longer than expected, but you know me, I can tend to be a bit verbose. And I do apologize for those that want a shorter video. So again, I will put the hashtag for this in here. And if you're seeing this, I want to, try to inspire you to do your own video and use that tag and see if we can get the ball rolling here in the comic community for others to make these types of videos, so we know these 10 things about them at least. Thank you, Namman, for tagging me, my friend. I will put your video below so that you can see that and see how this, really sort of emerged out of his ideas from seeing other people's video. Okay, everybody, the next video you see me, it'll be in Jersey City. If you're a person of prayer, please pray for traveling mercies and that all goes well. Everybody, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. It's really late. I'm sorry. Be kind, be blessed, and be back. Bye.